One of the things I need to do, I need to make a shelf that holds these this fuse situation, this computer, and this computer. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here. I'm going to mount it so this one can go underneath upside down like that. The fuse panel can go up top, and then this computer can go on the top like that. So I need to make a little shelf there. I've got some rough measurements. So I will start with the top piece and maybe break some stuff there and see where I can mount it on the inner fender. And then I've got some stuff that I've got to send out to powder coat anyway. So when I'm done making this, I'll add it to my list of stuff that needs to go to powder coat, as well as I've got the Rad sitting in there now. This cap looks a little tall, like it looks like it's higher than the hood and the fenders in the front end. So that's probably I'm probably gonna have to sink this down a little bit, cut the lower Rad support, which I don't really like to do, but this Rad kind of has everything that I want. So, and then I'll have to make a piece that maybe attaches in there and goes and clamps over and goes across. Same thing, I'll shape it out, and then I'll have to send it off for sandblast and powder coat. So I guess I'll start whipping some of this stuff up and see if I can make a video out of it. Okay, so I shaped my shelf. I went roughly, I wanted 8 inches across and 12 inches wide. So what I did was I just made it, I think 12 by 11. I folded a lip on it, 1 inch on this side, ½ inch on this side, just like a little shelf, like that. And it seems to fit in okay. I just need to mark where my holes are going to go so I can drill the holes for the mounting spots. I might wait, I might drill the pilot holes, but I might wait before I drill a final hole because I ordered a nut cert kit, and it might be nice to have like a threaded nut cert to bolt into. Normally what I'd do is I would drill and weld a nut on the backside, but a nut cert I think is going to be slick for this application. So I got my nut cert tool in, and I made a bracket. Quarter 20s. Kind of looks a little funny, but it'll be all right when it's painted and installed and everything. So I was going to send it out for powder coat, but I'm cheap and I already have these nutserts in it, so I am going to paint it because I've got some good paint that'll work. I still have to figure out what I'm doing with this rad support. I'm going to definitely cut it and lower that rad, I don't know, 2 inches, something like that. See if I can get it to work, because that rad has everything I need. Also waiting, a friend of mine is sending me an offset bracket that's going to change the angle of this throttle body. It's like a wedge that goes in between. I'm hoping that that gives me like an inch of clearance between that and the hood, or even 3/8 of an inch. I don't care, as long as it's not touching the hood. Right now, it's just hitting the hood, so I don't want to run it with the hood on the roof. So I'm going to have to wedge that forward, I think, and that'll change that angle. And that should change the clearance for the hood. I did, however, this is exciting, got my drive shaft. Local machine shop did it. Lindsay Driveline, they did it, and they did a nice job. It was pretty reasonable. So I have to paint it, but I'll probably install it and paint it in place because I don't have anywhere to hang it. And if I install it, then it is hanging. Yeah, so I've got to install that in this turd. And the list goes on. So the list is it's pretty big. I've only got one thing crossed off it since September 10th when I wrote this all. But I'm working on the mounting the computers and stuff, so that'll help. Hey, got a visitor outside. How you doing out there? So anyways, I'm mounting the that computer shelf. Yeah. So I've still got to figure out what I'm going to do in here in the dash. I'm looking at one of those kits, one of those boxes that's takes the VSS, the vehicle speed sensor wire that comes from the trans that is included in my harness, and converts it to a cable-driven signal to run my factory sweep style speedometer. It's like a little motor inside, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that, if I'm going to get that or not. I've got some wiring to do in here because that's a disaster. I need to install my shifter. And the list goes on. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this video yet, but so far it's a compilation of me working on this crap. Yeah. So I'll show you what else is going on around here. This is kind of... So I've got the 64 coupe. I've got some interior for it. It's in the back of the ramp side. Got the wagon happening. I drove that last weekend. Outside, got the Model A. I've been playing with the Model A quite a bit. It's not leaking, so it's working really well. I'm enjoying it. 57 trucks hanging out. I haven't had it out this week. I might take it out later tomorrow. And Sharon's car, customer car. I was just more facilitating, getting my buddy to do some work at his shop on the front end and alignment and all that stuff. So that's what I'm working on. I'll show you what the shelf looks like when it's painted and when it's installed, and hopefully it'll be good. I got an order coming in from Dixie Restoration Depot, or whatever the hell they're called, and for some hardware and interior bits and all kinds of stuff. I've got to figure out this Malibu harness. The LS stuff seems to be okay so far. It's just the rest of the car is the problem. It's been apart so long, and anyway, I'll get back at it. Yeah, so this is frustrating. It's not a win. Put my shelf there. It all looks nice. Everything was wonderful. But I'm an idiot, and I didn't realize, of course, this hinge has to come down. So I adjusted things a little bit and thought, oh, well, maybe it'll be okay. But I'm going to push down on the hinge. It's not even close to going down. far enough. So plan is going to have to change. It looked pretty. It looked like a nice little idea to have the shelf sitting there with all that stuff on it. Looks like that's not going to happen. Not sure what the plan B is. My wiring is all set up for everything to be right there. So I'm going to have to figure out some other way to mount these things. So that way they're not going to hit the hinge, and they're still going to be protected. I don't know. Maybe I got to put them down on the wheel well or something, or somewhere around the wheel well. It just sucks. I like them nice and tidy on this nice little shelf. So I guess that's what happens when you are working on cars that have engines and stuff in them that didn't come in them, and it's not factory designed. You're kind of winging it. So this is a fail. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and try and figure out what it is that I'm going to do. I'm going to take some pictures, and that way I can reflect on it after dinner or something, and try and figure out an option. And I guess I'll continue the video when I know what the hell I'm doing. In the meantime, I have to rip all this stuff back out, stare at it for a while, and figure out what my next plan is. I don't have a lot of room. It's an awkward spot. It's a tight spot. I've got to account for the coolant bottle that's going to sit there, and the the distance for the wiring, and obviously now the hood hinge. So, well, good morning. It's the next day. I gave up on my shelf for last night and thought about it and tried to sleep. So I've come up with an idea. I am moving my shelf out about 3.5 inches, and I've made a little bracket that still attaches to that spot on the inner fender well where on the inner fender where I put in the nutserts. So it should be okay. And I had to modify the tray a little bit, but other than that, it's all right. I'll show you what I got going on. So this is that tray that I made, and I had to turn this foot face the other way, but because I moved it out, I had to turn it around and face it that way, and I had to shorten it a little bit. So that's not a big deal. But then what I made was this thing here. It's like an adapter. Obviously it's drying right now. It's like an adapter that's going to move that shelf out about 3.5 inches, and this notch here, this hole, is to accept that hood hinge. And what I did was I roughly shaped it after this indent in the inner wheel well. So the one corner of that inside corner hooks around this fender stud here, and they mount to these nutserts that I put in, and then obviously that other leg goes to that hole. And then when I put this down, it sets right in the middle of it, and it just moved my computer and fuse box and everything out about 3 inches. So I think it's going to work. I think it's going to do the trick. I've started playing around with the lower Rad Shroud. I cut that out. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do there. I still have more cutting to do. And yes, I'm cannibalizing this Rad Shroud, or this Rad support, but it wasn't that good to start, so it'll be better when it's done. I probably won't finish that up for this video. I would like to get this crap installed and show you what the shelf looks like, and that's a pretty good progress video. Just so you can see some of the junk in my trunk. Here, I got a pile of crap, a lot of stuff to deal with. I have new weather strips that I have to pick up, actually. These are the ones that go around the window, so I got to do that. Got another little problem. I didn't put in any whiskers in here when the glass got put in. It's supposed to have this guy, but I didn't do that. So that glass has to come back out. And also the Landaus have like a stainless trim that goes around here. So I got to figure out what to do about that. I might have to make something, or not really sure how that's going to work, because it comes out and boxes around this. So that'll be another video at some point. And I got to do the, hey, there's me. I got to do the piece that goes around the landau trim. It, from factory, looks something like that. But this isn't the landau anymore. So I'm probably just going to make like a box, a rectangular box, and powder coat it and put the studs on it so I can bolt it into place. Yeah, there's my mess. So I'll wait till this dries, and then I'll install it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is my shelf, my elf on a shelf. It's installed. It's everything's secured. You can see that I use nut certs and I use 1/4 bolts, and I bolted everything down. See my tool holder here. Wiring's all tucked out of the way. You can see that I had to make that thing for the hinge. And when I push down on the hinge, it clears all the wiring, sets down. All is wonderful. I hope this isn't too tall. Might be too tall. I guess we'll find out. Okay, I don't have help to put my hood on right now. My son just left. I was concerned because when I pushed down on this hinge, I can't do it single-handedly. When I pushed down on that hinge, I was concerned about where this is going to be for height on the fuse box cover. But I think it's okay, because the hood doesn't go all the way down. Those hinges, they sit about here from what I can tell. From what I can tell on my hood, the mounting point back here, this is pretty crude, but there's paint chip. The mounting point back here is just over 1 inch from the bottom lip of the hood. It's about 1 1/8 inches from the bottom of the hood to the top surface. If I stick my level across there and measure from the top surface down, I am out of focus. You can't see that for some reason, it's not focusing. But it's about 1 3/8 inches. So I've got very little clearance, but the good thing is it's just these plastic fuse boxes, and really, if it did come in contact with them, it's not the end of the world. I would like it not to. Worst case, if I have to, I can slot these holes in this bracket here and just lower it down a little bit. It wouldn't be too bad. I've got a little bit of room that I could do that. And then I can adjust where I'm mounting on that side. The only thing that sucks, so 3 bolts, I can take this whole shelf out. That's handy. 2 bolts here, the one down at the bottom. The crappy thing is these heater hoses. I need a new heater box. If any of you in Canada have one that's in good shape, please let me know. The heater box, so to replace that heater box, I'm going to have to pull this assembly back out. But like I said, it's only 3 bolts. These are all just screwed down. I can undo that. It's like 10 minutes, and the whole shelf, elf on the shelf, is out of there. These hoses have to connect to down here for the heater. I don't really want to, I could just run them you know, like shape them to come over the top, across the top of this. Don't really like that. I might see what I can do. It's kind of cheesy to put a 90 there as well. I might see what I can do if I can route it somehow to go underneath that shelf. So that way, if it springs a leak, it's not the end of the world. But all this stuff is all weather tight anyways. These fuse covers, I don't know how weather tight they are, but they're supposed to be weather proof. The computer and everything is all weatherproof. So hopefully I can just shape some hoses underneath there and it'll be all nice and tidy. My order from Dixie Restoration's on its way. I've got new bottles, so I'll lose my tool holder. I got to figure out what to do about an upper rad hose. I've bent up some pieces on the brake to lower this rad down 3 inches. Basically, I'm going to cut this backside out here, this little piece that I left. Cut that out, drop in a piece that clips here and goes straight down, a little box, and then a 1-inch lip up, so it doesn't interfere with the fans. And then the whole rad will just be set down 3 inches, still way above the cross member, oil pan, all that sort of stuff. Way above all that crap. Nowhere near the ground clearance issue. That, and I'm running stock suspension in the front, so it sits pretty high anyway. I am toying with getting some bigger back tires. Let me know in the comments what you guys are running. I had 305s or something on it before at one time. These are 215/60s on a 15 by 7-inch wheel. I'm thinking that maybe these are Michelin Primacies or something. I'm thinking that maybe like a 265 or 275 60/15 might cut it. A little more beef in the back. Yeah, so that's it for right now. So I think I'm going to call it a video at this point. I got my shelf done. That's good. That's something I can strike off the list. We can do that right now. If I can do it left-handed, because I'm a righty. Where is it here? Computer, come on, give me something. Computer mount and shelf. Let's do this. There, that's not bad for not being ambidextrous. So that's one thing off the list. I've got some parts ordered. I've got some more stuff on the way. I'm going to make some more parts orders this week. Everything's going well. Slow and steady. I've been working a lot at work, so I haven't got much time in the shop. But it's coming along. I like to be checking things off the list, so that's good. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Please tell your friends, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff that I'm supposed to tell you to do. I hope you're enjoying so far. I'm trying to stumble my way through it. This car's been apart for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff. The LS stuff is pretty straightforward. The problem really is the car. With everything being apart for so long, the car is going to be a bit of a nightmare to put back together. I've got to figure out something for the pedal assembly, and I've got a few ideas for that, and I'll post another video soon. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. There's lots of cool stuff. There's a little bit of work on my 55 earlier this year. There's the Model A I've been playing with a lot. I'm really enjoying that car. Some Corvair stuff. There's always Corvair content around here. Looking at a couple of cars. Might pick up another project. You never know. I hope all is well, and stay safe. Thanks for watching.